edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
People in Alert Bay say they've been hearing strange screams and howls from the forest at night.
Thing I saw with eyes and what I thought maybe were teeth.
And welcome everybody once again to Reaping the Night, Tales of the Supernatural, right here on UndefinedRadio.com. This is episode 48, I believe. The Voice of God Weapon is what we're calling tonight's episode. Welcome back to Reaping the Night. It's been a while. We've taken a hiatus, getting a lot of stuff done, trying to revamp the show, and I think we're going to rename the show.
We're going to rename it?
I think we're going to rename the show.
Is it going to be Big Daddies?
No. No.
Big Daddies every Friday night.
Probably anything but Big Daddy.
I quit.
That's a whole different...
I'm out of here, man.
That's a whole different show right there if we go down that road. So we got to be careful on that, doing that, calling it Big Daddies. But if I'm trying to think of a new name, new marketing thing for it. So Reaping the Night will be changing. We'll be changing the name of it. We need something.
Changing the name.
I've got some ideas for a logo. I've just got to figure out the name of it. So if you guys come up with a cool name, and we may do that. Same thing goes for you listeners. If you got a cool name for the show going forward, then email us at radio@undefinedраdio.com. That's radio@undefinedраdio.com. Give us your suggestions out there on what you think a cool name would be. Remember, we talk about ghosts, conspiracy theories, all kinds of stuff. And like tonight, our subject of tonight, called the Voice of God Weapon, the MK Ultra mind control, things like that. So we talk about all different kinds of stuff.
That's right.
Weird stuff, unexplained phenomenon, lots of stuff that we can talk about. And we decided tonight, for tonight's show, Jason had an idea he wanted to talk about, because Jason's really into this mind control stuff.
I know.
So I think this is the part.
That's probably the
this is how Jason justifies the crazy things that he does right here. It was MK Ultra mind control.
They're on to me. They're on to me.
They were pulsing weapons into my messages into my brain. I couldn't help it,
You keep laughing over there. Yeah.
See, if I was married or dating somebody, this would be the ultimate escape. Baby, I didn't do it on purpose. They just messaged.
It was Jason's ultra mind control.
That MK Ultra mind control just got a hold of me, and I could not help myself.
I couldn't help.
Until you date a Mexican girl. No me importa lo que te han dado. I don't care what they've done to you.
Like,
I don't care what they've done to you.
Like, baby, I don't know what you said, because I don't speak Spanish no more.
I don't know, but it was real sexy.
Dude, stop. So let's talk about that. So it's good seeing you guys. First of all, before we get into this, it's good seeing you guys again.
Yeah,
like I said, it's been a while.
Yeah.
A lot of changes going on.
A lot of changes.
Yeah.
You know.
Lots of changes.
Lots
of changes. We've changed jobs.
Changed jobs, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had the same job for 10 years.
Me too.
And decided, whoop, bye.
Bye. We said
still
we're
work.
out of here.
Yep.
Instead of getting in the zone, we
Y'all
get
got
out of the zone.
They call me Little Joker.
Get out of the zone, Joker.
That's fun. That's sad, too.
That's good
so
stuff.
sad. So
Yep.
sad. Well, it's good having you guys back in here, back in the studio.
We're glad to be back.
Yeah,
We've,
man, it's awesome.
We've changed up things a little bit in the studio.
Yeah.
Fixing to change up things a little bit more, too, it looks like. So,
I hope this video doesn't make me look fat.
well, I'm pretty sure that my fat makes me look
Yeah,
fat.
that's
so
right.
I can't
I want a
speak for anybody else.
slimming camera. Can we get a slimming?
Yeah, I don't think they make such a creature. If somebody can make one of those, they make a fortune.
They do say the camera adds like 40 pounds.
40, huh?
I think mine's adding like 60.
Well, I got
Plus.
these. I've got the plus cameras in here, so they
Yeah.
probably added extra.
Except for Isaac, he's just
Big
a
wide
freaking-
angle lenses.
He's a Hispanic stud.
That's right.
He's
Little Don Juan over there.
Yes.
That's right.
I feel like I'm sitting over here beside, what's that, Ricky Martin.
Antonio Banderas
Yeah.
sitting over there.
Antonio.
Wait. Let me let the camera get my good angle.
Yeah. They're all good.
People are like, y'all racist.
Yeah, you're racist.
Why y'all racist up there speaking Hispanic voices in there? Well, it's because Jason
Claro que sí.
He can
It's
speak
not
it.
Hispanic. But
Yes.
But Isaac is my son.
and his lovely wife
Yep.
is very much Guatemalan.
No.
Is that
Is
correct?
she Guatemala?
¿Qué pasó?
Where is she from?
She's
Chihuahua?
mexicana.
Honduras?
Is she from Chihuahua?
No, es de Hidalgo, Mexico.
Oh, see.
Hidalgo.
I
See,
don't
that's
know
what
what
we
that
thought.
was, but it was very
About
very
3
sexy.
hours.
Wait, did you say Hidalgo?
northeast. Hidalgo, yeah.
Isn't that a horse?
It is a horse.
I thought it was a horse.
Yep. Named after Miguel
She's not
Hidalgo.
from the horse, though. She's
No.
from
Not
the
from
city.
the horse. From
No.
the city of the horse.
Okay, City of the Horse.
City of the horse.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yep.
But yes, she is from Hidalgo, which is awesome.
Yes.
So-
very good.
So that is why, and we love her very much.
and then me
she's
and you're just
awesome.
a bunch of gringos.
Yeah, we just those white rich men, except without
Yeah.
the rich part.
Yeah, that's right,
Everybody
that's right.
hates on now.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's right.
That's tough.
There's no help for us.
That's right.
If,
No
I've
help.
if I've ever touched you inappropriately for the last 30 years, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry. I need my job.
When all that came out, I said, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna be able to run for office, bud.
No, that's the thing.
I'm in deep trouble.
I had ambitions. I used to have ambitions about that, about running for office.
Yeah.
Not on anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
Because the
Your
skeletons,
past
the
is gonna come
skeletons they
back.
would dig up.
Oh,
But see,
ay,
but,
papi.
but look, there's a great way to get around that. I was like, yeah, I did it. So,
yeah.
That's
I did
right.
it.
and
Hey, it's worked today so far with all
Yeah.
these other
You can just say
politicians.
with everybody, I did it. Damn right, I did it.
I did it.
I did it.
yeah,
I
did it.
didn't inhale.
I did it.
I did not
and I did her
have
too.
sexual relations with that woman. I swear.
See,
okay,
that was-
I did.
I did.
Okay. Bill, how about you just stay out of this one, bud?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had sexual relations there and over there.
And over there.
The
And
Lincoln
under-
room.
and
oh,
under
yeah.
there, too.
All
It was
over
awesome.
there. That's right. That secret tunnel underneath the White House.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah. That's great.
Oh, getting excited.
So, biggest thing people is don't lie.
Now let's get
If you
back
ever
to
confronted
God's
the truth,
mind.
do it.
What are you
That's
talking
right. Now I'm beginning to maybe this is what the voice of God weapon is, making us say all the stuff we shouldn't be saying out loud anyway.
right.
No, it's not.
All right, so what is it?
Okay, so have you guys noticed that for the last several years there's been a rash of these so-called mass shooters?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Mass
yeah.
shooter, and honestly, and I want to curtail this, and I want to start out by saying, for those who have really been, affected, and families been affected by mass shooters, I'm really sorry.
I have. My
Right,
family.
and this is not
Yeah.
at all to
In Las Vegas.
to point out or to besmirch that those people have died and really have been hurt, because they have.
Yeah.
But there's two different things that we're going to look at today. One of them is every time something happens, like there's this one group of people that may say this is a hoax.
Yeah, of course.
A hoax, it's a hoax. All right, a hoax is something that actually did not happen. Okay, it's there's no blood. It's
Right.
something that's completely made up. It's just a hoax.
Right.
Okay, then there's what you call a false flag. Now, false flag is something that actually did happen. It did transpire. People did die or did get hurt, but yet it's completely covered up, and the media tells you a spin that they want you to hear.
Sure.
You're fed something that is
Right.
totally not true.
It's kind of like the little thing on Men in Black.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now that is a false flag.
The little zapper.
And one thing that got me to thinking about it was a while back. Remember the shooting down in Florida? The 19-year-old guy named Nick Cruz.
Nick Cruz.
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, he's the one that shot the
The school up.
school up down there.
Oh, yeah.
It's recent.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
probably
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
the end of last year.
Yeah.
whatever. No, it was this year.
Yeah,
Nick
it
Cruz.
was. Yeah, it was earlier this year.
And
right?
anyway, so I mean, this really happened, but witnesses say that there were two shooters, but you heard nothing about it.
Right.
They say that Nick came into the school. He had complete police metal anti-bullet
Oh, yeah.
armor on
Yeah.
him. Okay, totally bulletproof stuff, masked, the whole 9 yards. But yet they heard shooting from the other end of the school, and also he was there. Okay, so this guy shows up, but you hear nothing about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy's arrested, and he's arrested, and they, of course, interrogate him and ask him why he did it. He told them that he had been hearing voices in his head. Now, the very first thing you think of when someone says they've been hearing voices, oh, they're schizophrenic.
Right.
Sure.
And that's what the media tell you. Well, he's a crazed, deranged, schizophrenic, or he's been on drugs, or he's been, treated this way his whole life. But that is simply not the case. And every time this happens, the very thing they say is, oh, they're a psychopath. They're a deranged person. Just like, remember the Mandalay Bay shooting?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Can't forget
At
it.
the Mandalay Bay Hotel. That's actually that was not a hoax. That
Right.
was a false flag. meaning it happened. People were shot, killed,
Right.
but it was covered up what actually happened. This
Well,
guy,
and that was one of the more famous ones
Yes,
that, of
that
our
was
recent memory
recent.
that just happened. And I say it's one of the more famous ones because there was so much chaos surrounding that investigation.
yes,
Yeah.
And this is information you can find everywhere. This is not hypotheticals and just looking up the dark web and
Right.
things on in the deepest parts of YouTube and garbage like that. I mean, these are things that you have to you can find just with a simple Google search.
that's right. Have you seen the video of when supposedly he's shooting with a bump stock?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a bump stock shoot?
Oh yeah, I've
Yes.
shot one.
Oh yeah.
It's not like
No, no.
That is not the way
It's not.
is.
No, it just it's like do 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 do.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
It's just
about
when
the,
it bumps back, bam! It automatically just makes your trigger finger
exactly.
pull it. Bam, bam,
exactly.
bam.
But in the picture, you hear it going.
Oh, dude, it's full automatic.
It's like
Yeah.
an AK.
It's fully automatic.
And not only that, you can see the light flashing from
Yeah,
the
the flash.
from the muzzle fire.
Yeah.
The muzzle flash, like on maybe the 13th or 14th floor, when they said this happened in the 30th or 40th
Right.
floor.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It was a total farce. And then this guy he wasn't, a millionaire, but he was well off.
Yeah, he had money.
He went to Vegas all the time and played the slots and stuff. He had an Asian girlfriend,
uh-huh.
older lady.
That's right.
His age. His own brother says, my brother is not a gun guy.
Right.
He's not.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know what happened. He said we talked all the time, but he just flipped. He said, I don't know. They're saying he went crazy, flipped it. And guess what? You can say, the very first thing is they said, some crazy guy went out there or some terrorist went out there and just started shooting all these people up. No. This middle-aged white
Yeah.
guy at a country music concert
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
shoots and kills I don't know how many people.
Yeah,
It injures others.
one of my second cousins. She was there, and she was sitting, watching the concert. And when one lady got it went through her head, the
Yeah.
bullet went through her head right in front of her. She's
jeez.
like, "Oh my!" So that's when everybody started diving, and she just left everybody and was just crawling, trying to get to safety. But I mean, we know the death happened,
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but who was the real shooter?
absolutely.
well, that's
right.
the biggest
Kinda
question
like-
about
yeah.
that one. About
Yeah.
where did all those shots come from, and how
Right.
was there just the one, and how was the investigation? You would think
How do
if
you get
security was there, it would be wrapped
50-something
up.
guns into a hotel room?
Well, it's kind of like JFK, 1963, November. Really? What? There was two shooters, right?
Yep,
But there's only one.
grassy knoll.
Yeah.
The grassy knoll.
Well,
His head went back.
Right.
He went
Forward.
back.
You can
and-
clearly see him
Bam, bam.
go back and then go forward.
Yeah.
Look, I've shot plenty of deer in my life as a
Yeah.
hunter, and I've never seen one do that
Yeah.
No.
Ever.
That's right. Yeah.
with high-powered rifles.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Never seen one.
And
do
the thing
that.
had iron sights on it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Come
I do
on,
have real quick, and not to get off track. I got a question for you. We got on the video.
Yeah.
Would you guys be happy for a 2-cent tax a year to fund for armed public security in schools, or would you let school shootings carry on? If that was your choice, what would you do?
Oh, I'd pay it.
I would too.
I'd pay the tax.
For the protection for my kids, I would.
Yes. Well, Amy, she's a teacher, and you ought to see the stuff they have to. When they go through these safety things, man,
Yeah,
they've got
yeah.
these things that go over the door shuts. They put this thing on the door, it like just jams the door.
I'm all
they need
for
that
it.
kind of stuff.
Lock them in.
I,
I mean,
I think honestly, and I know everybody's gonna hate me for this,
probably.
but I feel like our school should be way more strict than it is.
I don't know. I mean,
No.
I agree with
I
that.
feel like
The way it is now, it needs to be.
it should almost be. I don't mean it should be, North Korea strict.
Sure.
Okay, now I don't mean that, but I do mean that there should be way less. Now you can take cell phones to school, and you can.
Oh, yeah.
You can talk to the teacher any way you want to
That's
do
unbelievable.
it. That's
I know.
Well, it's,
bullcrap.
it's,
It's
it's
not
the
right.
whole mindset of the world that we live in now,
It
too.
is.
Though, is different. You can't do anything. You can't discipline kids. You can't.
I
make
think
a
there
habit
ought to
of
be a
anything.
sign at the entrance of the school. We are going to use, verbal enforcement, this enforcement, that enforcement, corporal punishment. And
That's
if
right.
you don't like it, you can take your kids elsewhere.
But I love how it's said now, though, that if you use corporal punishment, you're making kids into killers. Really?
Really?
If that was the case, my entire generation would have wiped out the world by now.
Let me just tell you, there were. I always tell people there's more deductions for child support on my check than there were F's on my third grade report card.
know it.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if I was going to be a killer, I should have been because, dude, I was in the office a lot.
That's what I'm
A
saying.
whole lot. And my parents would be like, whip his butt. And then when
right.
he gets home,
He's
we're going to
getting
whip him
another one.
again.
Yeah, but even when you look at school shootings, though, you look at the number of schools in this country.
Right.
You look at the number of days that school sessions are in, and what is the percentage of school shootings? It's
Right.
infinitesimally small. The fear, though, is it can happen at any time, anywhere, and
right.
that's why you take the
Okay.
precautions.
And,
Right.
and I want to continue on that, but for lack of time, we're going to move on because I want to make that point. Think about also, remember the Batman killer? The guy that went to the Batman
the theater.
in the movie theater?
Oh, yes.
Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Dark Knight. The guy says that he just was hearing voices telling him to do this. And
But that's a lot of these killers who say that.
yeah, that's right. There's also a Dallas police attack suspect, James Ballware. He said he heard voices. He was telling his own mom, I was hearing voices. They were telling me exact instructions of how to do this. A Colorado middle school shooter heard voices. He was placed on a mental health watch forever. And the way they do this, and this is really going to sound far-fetched, but I promise you this is really happening. This is really going on. They will come to your house. They will dig in your garbage. They will somehow get your DNA.
Oh, yeah.
Then they will make a magnetic weapon using electromagnetic fields. This weapon, they will make it tuned to your own DNA. So that if you had a crowd of, say, 4 or 5 people, they can pick you out personally. Okay? And not only that, they've been using this technology. It's been around since the 50s, but they've had the technology ever since even the Gulf War. And they had a weapon, they call it the Voice of God weapon,
Right.
to where they projected something like 20 miles away a voice saying, "This is Allah, lay down your weapons." And of course, these people hear this audible voice and
Right.
coming out of nowhere, they thought it was, God. So they all lay their weapons down. It worked like a charm. And they have also microwave weapons now they're on top of the Humvee. It looks like a big satellite dish.
Right.
And they can hit it, and instantly the crowd from something like 3 or 4 football fields away, it'll start burning you like a microwave oven. And you'll
Ooh,
just disperse.
That's a cool weapon.
Yeah.
That disperses them.
Right. Oh, yes.
I like that.
That's
Oh,
a
yes.
cool weapon.
We need to use that
We
on
do.
them protesters.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do. and on the
No,
violent.
I'm talking about protesters on the.
And we're talking about those violent protesters. Is what we're talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about like if they're in the streets of Memphis and
Yeah.
protesting.
That's right. We're talking about violent protesters here.
Violent
Yeah.
protesting is something that can be deterred by this machine. You ought to see it. It's amazing. I mean, you can't even stand it 1 second. The cutter instantly, it's like the worst sunburn you've ever had. But anyway,
Oh yeah, that would work.
Yes,
That would do it.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
You don't need water cannons for that.
No.
And it doesn't.
Water
it doesn't
cannons are
hurt
awesome.
Yeah,
But you
I
don't
do
need
like
them.
those.
But
I
they've
do
been
like a
using
water cannon.
they've been using the magnetic weapons for so long. MK Ultra has been using it to torture people. People saying they'll lay in their bed and all of a sudden they'll start vibrating, and then they hear these voices, and it's every single time they go to bed, and it literally drives them nuts.
Chad was in one of those beds. Remember they had the quarters on the little thing?
Dude, let me
Yeah.
tell you something. I'm so old it was nickels.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stupid. But you guys remember
Good old days.
a couple?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Was that at the Worst Western?
Yes, yes, it was. It was a Motel 5 back then.
Yeah,
right.
motel, the no-tell motel, right?
Baskin Robbins had one flavor.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, a few years ago we had I don't know if they were CIA agents, but they were agents and they were in Cuba. It was no more than 2 years ago. All of a sudden, they said they were being attacked by some sort of energy weapon. That it was super high frequency that made them have splitting, terrible headaches.
Oh my gosh.
They felt terrible. They couldn't move. It was debilitating.
Yeah.
Anyway, you remember that?
Mhm.
That was one
Well,
of
you
the.
got the technology, man.
Yes,
we got
do.
it.
We've had it since the 50s.
We got it.
But now, not only that, the way it works is they, sound enters your outer ear.
Right.
It goes into the inner ear and it vibrates, and that sends electrical signals into the little part of the inner ear that actually creates sound.
Right.
And so the way these magnetic weapons work is they send a signal to the base of your head, to the back of your head, and not audibly, but electromagnetically, they send these audible words, whole sentences, phrases, clear phrases directly to your brain. And they can do it from miles, 20 miles away.
I can believe it.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good time for
Those
everybody.
are good times.
And one guy, and I can point this out, and you guys are going to know. You ever heard of Aaron Alexis? Aaron Alexis, a few years ago, he was an African American
School shooter.
contractor. No, not school shooter. He was
He's a lawyer.
He was not him.
Is it a different guy?
He is a different guy. He had special
You're talking
clearance.
about Aaron Hernandez.
No, not him.
I think that's a whole different thing.
Oh, my
A
fault.
sport, dude.
Yeah. My fault.
This guy had special clearance. He was on the Navy Yard. Remember, it was just a couple years ago.
That's right. This dude.
And this guy was top.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
dude.
sir. Top of the line. Great
Yeah.
guy. You don't just get special
I know.
clearance to go work on the Navy Yard. They don't just say, "Oh, come on, we'll hire you off of manpower."
Look,
over here.
their security background clearances
Yes,
are
sir.
in
He's on a
depth, buddy.
temp. Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
temp
yeah.
service.
There ain't no tent service.
That's right.
Yeah.
These guys to be on security or any part of MP,
Right.
that is one of the most strict background checks
Oh, yeah.
that there are.
Yeah.
So anyway, this guy was top notch. So anyway, he just one day just freaks out. He takes a shotgun, pump shotgun, and he wastes about 4 or 5 people. He kills them. And of course, when they interview him, the news anchors and all that, and they done some investigation. They said he was mentally unstable, but no, he had been telling people for months that they were using energy weapons against him, that they were using a magnetic weapon against him. He studied it. He found out what
nobody believed him.
No one believed him. He said it was a man. It was 2 men and a woman, and they were following him. And every single time he would try to go to bed, that they would hit him and they would begin to speak to him, and it literally drove him crazy. He couldn't get any help.
Yeah.
No one can help him. You can't. The doctor can't help you
No.
when there's nothing they
Can't prove it.
They can't prove it. So anyway, the guy just goes in there and he kills all these people.
We're crazy.
Yeah, well,
By the
did he
control.
go crazy?
Well, it was by the mind control.
It was by that energy
Yeah.
weapon, mind control.
There you go. All right, we got to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about MK Ultra mind control.
Oh, this is too exciting
and,
to
we're
take a
gonna-
break.
and look, we're going to get back to this other dude that we were talking about because I know we're going to talk about that dude, the lawyer.
Oh.
The African
I
American
thought you meant
lawyer.
Aaron Hernandez.
No, not the football player.
my fault.
We're good out of that, so we're good there. All that and more on Reaping the Night Tales of the Supernatural right here on UndefinedRadio.com.
American Radio.
Going back to school can be quite expensive, especially when you have more than one child. We offer a variety of ways to ease your back-to-school budget woes. This is Tracy Goforth with First Security Bank. We have lenders that are ready to help you finance school supplies, clothing, books, and so much more. Dr. Seuss once said, "The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go." Call us today. We want to ease your back-to-school woes. First Security Bank, we are one. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
For over 40 years, Toby Cinemas has served the North Mississippi area, offering all of the newest releases in a family-friendly atmosphere with prices that won't break the bank. Located at 226 East Main Street, Senatobia, Toby Cinemas is Dolby Digital Surround Sound in real 3D. Go to TobyCinemas.com and plan your next night out at the hometown theater that treats you like family. Toby Cinemas, home for family entertainment since 1970.
This is Drew Moreland, and you're listening to the original Texas Red Dirt station east of the Mississippi, Undefined Radio.
Undefined Radio. Don't let your station define you.
Hi, folks. Ricky Swindle for Batesville Tire Muffler on the corner of Highway 6 and Eureka Street. Hey, bud, are you always late? Because your tires are flat? Your old lady's on the phone with her mama telling her, Mama, he's crazy. So now mama's trying to talk her into all because you won't buy new tires. Come see me at Batesville Tire Muffler and I'll fix you up with a brand new set of Toyos and Duck Commanders or any brand you want. I can even finance them for you too. Then you can walk in on time and say, hello, darling. And she'll say, I'm sorry. Batesville Tire Muffler, helping married women since 1975.
At Cockrell Family Medical Center, we believe in treating our patients like family. Having to go to the doctor's office can be a daunting experience for many people. But here at Cockrell Family Medical Center, we give you the best care with a smile and a caring heart. Our goal is to help you lead a long, healthy life with our health and wellness programs, weight loss program, supplements, vitamins, and so much more. Schedule your appointment today. Come by the office at 120 North Fleet Drive in Senatobia, Mississippi, or call us at 662-301-1128. Once again, that number is 662-301-1128.
And welcome back to Reaping the Night Tales of Supernatural right here on UndefinedRadio.com. Noam says, hey, gentlemen, happy late Halloween. Hope you all having a grand night. Yes, sir, we are. Hope you are, too. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate that. As we're talking MK Ultra Mind Control tonight right here on Undefined Radio, because we talk about that stuff. We were talking during the break, and Kevin made a very good point. People will think we're crazy about some of the things that we talk about just because of how out there it seems. But here's the thing: if you don't think that mind control is real,
it's real. And
whether or not you buy into the MK Ultra mind control stuff, we know that some of that happens because we know that
it's completely real.
It has been.
It was created by the Nazis during World War II, and under Operation Paperclip, those mind Nazis were brought to the U.S.
Yeah, and there was information that was released publicly.
Yes.
All those years later, talking about some of the things that they had done. The most famous one, they were giving drugs to people and controlling them that way. Remember the FBI agent who went right out of the committed suicide right out of the building. And a lot of it was done that way. Now these people were given drugs without even their knowledge of it, and were mind controlled that way, you know, and kept being warped that way. Yeah. So this is not far fetched. If you think this is far fetched and it can't happen, think about all the things, the simple mind control things that go on in your everyday life that you probably don't even pay attention to.
That's right.
It's through the TV, all the advertisements that you see everywhere.
That's why I'm so fat, man. They have all these pizza commercials.
I'm telling you, and you can't resist. You got to go eat that delicious cheese crust filled pizza from Papa John's or whatever. I mean, come on.
Now Little Caesars has thin crust.
Dude,
it's very
but that's what I'm talking about.
I'm rereading a book called Bruco, and it's about this missionary that went down to live with these Indians down in Colombia, and it's so good. And he was staying with his tribe and the Yucos, and he said the food was the worst thing. It was the worst food in the world. He said every day they ate corn and they drank chicha, and chicha was was made by chewing up corn and spitting it into this thing and allowing it to ferment.
No.
He said it tasted even worse than it sounded.
Oh my God! Why?
And then you drink other people's spit.
Can I just have some water?
Yeah. Except I'd be questioning the water at that point.
I don't want any non-fermented water.
No. I just want the water that falls from the heavens, please.
Chicha, no, man. The
chicha don't sound good.
Quíteme la chicha.
No, chicha.
Take it away.
Why would anybody think that's a good idea to do that?
No.
I bet you they were all thin.
Every one of them. Every one of them.
Machine.
Well, then they tell you, you're drinking, you're going, and you see these beautiful girls, you're like, oh, I sure hope she made the chicha. And then they go, nope.
It's that one.
No.
It's that one over there.
It's her sister.
No, thank you. Oh, my God. No. Good Lord. That would be awful.
She got a big old thing cut in her mouth.
Just.
How
long do you have to chew and spit to even fill up a glass of that?
Dude, I'm
serious. That you have to go through.
Oh my God,
that's no good.
That is. Can you see a bunch of fat ass people just sitting around doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, just piling their face full of stuff, just spitting in a spittoon and pouring it out in a cup. There you go, homemade.
No, then we let it ferment.
Can you give me a refill?
Yeah. Hold on just a second.
Oh, I love this chicha. It's so good. I bet you don't hear that a lot.
No, and Janice takes to the back. Go to work.
New and improved flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, that's tough. No, gross.
Anyway.
I will. So that's why I don't go to foreign countries right here.
That's
It's a
right.
very
Well,
damn reason.
No, it was living with the Indians, you know. So,
I'm not doing it.
Not right now, they ain't.
I keep telling Jason I'm going on a mission trip with him, but I don't know.
No, man.
Not outside my borders.
Don't drink the water.
No, you don't. But it's not that way where we go. I mean, now there are places down when you go into the jungles that it's that way.
What?
If I want to go to the jungle, I'm going to Memphis.
See, that's why. But that's why people still live in jungles.
Yeah.
Doing stupid things like that is why you still live in a jungle.
Yeah.
That is ignorant.
You know, it's not that it's
that's where
stupid.
evolution. Evolution has stopped.
Yeah.
Free thinking has stopped.
Yeah.
Everything, common sense, logic.
The word spit and beverage don't go together.
No. It's called soda pop, not soda spit. I mean,
that's right.
No, you don't do that.
Look, You need to tell them, look now. They got this new thing. You can smash it up with a rock and put it in there. You ain't got to spit it in there.
The rain that falls out, just catch it in a bowl. Those very bowls, you can drink that stuff.
You know all those things you see hanging from the tree? That's fruit. You can make a juice.
That's right.
You don't have to ferment that with sugar.
That's right. No, you don't even need sugar.
Oh, no. It's
no, we're going to do
natural sugar.
But these people are just going to chew the bark off a tree and spit in a cup and call it wine.
Are you trying to turn people into winos down there?
Yeah. They might be better off.
That's the problem.
They might be better
I know
off. All right, let's talk about this dude we were going to get to before the break.
So anyway, and probably the saddest one.
We went from that to the side.
Just say, Noam says, the strange stuff they eat or do in other countries are crazy. My buddy ate guinea pig when he went to South.
To Peru.
He ate somebody's pet.
No, you can eat.
I was wondering what happened to that little.
No wonder these animals are so happy in America because they know they ain't getting eaten here.
Yeah,
you guys listen to this and we'll move on. Now this doesn't sound like something I'm going to say, but it's really not. I was reading a magazine one time and these guys went down there.
Was it just for the article?
No, it was it was kind of like a National Geographic.
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
I bet it was.
Now we know.
So
anyway,
we know. These two dudes went to live with this tribe, and anyway. They kept saying, you're going to have to eat these big larvae, and that's the rite of passage for a man anyway, these big, giant, round worm larva things. And he was like, God, I'm not eating that thing. So they tried, and the guy said, no, you're not a man until you do the anyway, so he said, so one day he decided, I'll do it. So he bit into it.
He was drunk. He drank some chicha.
Yes, he did.
He said, the texture was like biting into a condom full of pus.
Oh! First of all, you would have to know what that is, and that disturbs me as much as eating the larva.
Kind of,
No, the texture, not the flavor.
I don't care. I didn't say the flavor either. Oh my God!
It's just
they got flavored ones, right?
It's just the thought of that. You can imagine how disgusting that.
Just the thought has me sweating. I mean, jeez.
Here, have some chicha to wash it down.
Did he have the?
Don't ever say that to me, though. You got to do this to be a man. That ain't a man, baby.
That's right.
I'm secure with who I am. I don't need to be a man in that case.
Where's the women's camp? Over there.
Point me that way.
I always say I'd be on this show called Naked and Afraid, but I couldn't eat that kind of stuff.
No,
I just couldn't do it, man.
No,
I'd be like the first day. I'd be like, man, anybody got some? Look, cameraman. You got some Reese's? I need a Snickers or Reese's, man.
That's it.
I'm fixing to go postal up in here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you. No says, he messed up when he bit into it instead of eating the thing whole, which I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't bite it, let all that juice squirt everywhere and do all that stuff. What is wrong with you?
So later on in the book, you guys got to read this book.
No, thank you. I'm full of that. No, thank you.
He goes back to Bogota, to Colombia, from the jungle because he has to get some medicine.
I hope he saw visions after.
Well, listen.
Probably hallucinated his way out of the jungle.
He's in the jungle. He goes 3 or 4 days and he didn't take anything to eat, so he's starving. So anyway,
he just ate this
big-ass
worm.
No, this is a different guy. This is the guy that drank the chicha.
Guy number 2, chicha guy.
Yeah, this is him. So anyway, he gets so tired, he lays against this tree, and he kind of just dozes off. And he opens his eyes, and he sees this big, beautiful butterfly, and it's kind of floating and flittering.
I bet you did.
No,
he
did.
His friend.
He's making steak.
No, listen. This thing was just flying. It got closer to his face, and it went into his mouth. Listen, it goes down his throat. He starts choking. He sticks his hands in his mouth trying to get it out, and then he realizes he's asleep. He wakes up, and what it was is he hadn't had nothing to eat.
Yeah.
And there was these intestinal worms that had crawled up his throat looking for food.
I am never going to a foreign country
They
ever.
were crawling up his throat.
Thank you. I was going to eat spaghetti after this show. I guess I'm not eating that
anymore. You need
anymore.
some sound effects of people thought.
We do. Because that is horrific.
He said next time he'll eat enough to keep his worms happy at least.
What?
That's what he said.
No.
Look, man,
you better go get some penicillin or something for that.
When you're drinking chicha.
Oh my
Tums.
God,
Can I get a
man.
Tums? Anybody got a Tums?
How gross. People are nasty.
Dude, I'm telling you.
It's amazing what people will do.
When you just don't know. This guy.
Especially for money.
Look, let me tell you something.
His welcoming party was a spear was thrown through his leg And the guy stuck his foot and ripped the spear out of his leg. That's how they welcomed him to the tribe. He was not welcomed, of course.
And you're talking about getting beat into a club.
Oh, he got
beat
Why
into
do people want to do this?
to go share the gospel. He went there to share the gospel to these people.
Oh yeah, 'cause they sound just like holy people.
He was 19 years old.
I'd be like, God does not want me to eat
God,
this.
no.
God does not want me to drink that. And God does not want me to get stabbed through the leg with a spear.
That's right.
You're like Mother.
Jesus never did this. Jesus never did this. Stop it.
You're like Mother.
Jesus never stabbed anybody with a sword.
My other buddy said he was just going to hand out Bible tracts on the beach.
Yeah.
Oh
People
my
at the beach said Jesus
God,
did.
really?
Man.
What is that? Is stupid. Oh my God, those people need some MK Ultra mind control because something is seriously wrong with these folks.
Well, okay, let's move on.
And we think riding a bike with a tie on and traveling all over with a white shirt on.
See, this is why
the summer's bad.
If I go on Match.com, if she says I love to travel, I'm like, nope, swipe left. You gone.
Oh,
It's not gonna happen.
No, I absolutely love travel. But listen, I draw the
I do
line
too,
at,
to Texas.
at eating
Yeah,
something.
me too.
I draw the line.
I love
at
to
eating,
travel to Taco Bueno.
I'm not eating no worms,
A Whataburger.
no guts.
That
I
you
mean,
know
I'm
of,
not eating none of
apparently.
that. No.
You don't know what they really make in that food down there.
Well, but I you know,
not
you'll
anymore.
consider
I don't know
putting
what
me
it
in
is.
Not
If you put enough
anymore.
spices on it, it's good.
I turned into a vegan.
Yeah, until your stomach worms trying to come out of your
That's
throat and
right.
you grab stuff out of the air. No,
That's
that's
right.
all right.
That is horrible.
Never. I'll be so paranoid now after that story. I'll
Oh,
never
it was
go out.
amazing. You just don't know.
All right, go ahead, man.
So anyway, the next guy we're going to talk about is a guy named Myron May. Now this guy, also an African American guy, just one of the most awesome guys, was an attorney.
Yeah.
Now this guy is not some clown off the street. This guy went to law school, had opened a law firm. He was an attorney. He was had lots of friends. He had a great past. Everybody knew him and said he was just the sweetest guy, just a great guy. And anyway, he was what you call a TI, a targeted individual. They target you. They pick you out because he began to study and look at this thing about this energy weapon and mind control and things. And for some odd reason, he got involved with MK Ultra somehow.
Yeah.
And they made him a TI, a targeted individual. Anyway,
They got him.
it was really heartbreaking because, I mean, this guy was just such a compassionate guy. You know,
See his video on YouTube?
he made
This dude-
3 YouTube videos. He sent 10 certified packages, letters to different media sources, showing them about what the government is doing with this energy weapon, showing them how he was targeted. He's been a targeted individual, and he made these videos showing that he was already a targeted individual, and they were gonna do away with him. And you know, he said, but I know I won't be able to stop them, but maybe I can get help for someone else. I can stop them. Anyway, he went. They told him if he would go into this library and he would take out a mass shooting, that or at least just going like that, they would stop torturing him. Of course, he goes in there, but he does not shoot anyone. He only sort of swings the weapon around and waves it in the air and shoots it a few times in the air. He doesn't try to hurt anyone.
Right.
And he walks up. Of course, when he walks out, by this time, he's surrounded by police officers, and they shoot him more than 30 times.
Oh yeah.
And
They Swiss cheese to
yeah,
him.
yeah, he was gone.
But if you see his videos
But
on
he didn't
YouTube,
kill anybody?
No.
And if you see his video on YouTube, this is not somebody you would
It's not
think.
a nutcase.
I mean, and when he speaks, very well spoken, clean cut dude. I mean,
That's my point. And people,
he's not slurring, crazy
No.
hair everywhere. None of that.
Yeah.
The first thing the media is going to tell you that it's some boogeyman, some
Right.
crazy person
He's crazy.
with all these mental
He
problems
He's
and
got
all
mental
this.
issues. No, he doesn't.
They're so full of crap, man.
Just all of a sudden, most people just don't do that.
No.
All of a sudden, just go, bing.
It would be like, if I saw somebody, that I knew was really had mental problems a long time, and then I heard, months later, hey, so and so freaked out and took a baseball bat and went there and beat a few people.
You'd think, I know.
Oh, yeah,
I knew that
he's-
was coming.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But it would be like, someone that you knew and highly respected, and then all of a sudden, oh, did you hear about so-and-so? He took a Glock 9 and went to Walmart and just wasted a few people.
Yeah.
Well, see, and I'll say this: I'm not surprised when kids end up being mass shooters of schools. I'm not, and because usually the kids that do that are the social outcasts who've been bullied,
Right.
and there's driven into loneliness and depression. I get that part of it. It's guys like that dude, though, who seem to have everything cool and under control, very likable dude, everybody knows and loves it, just all of a sudden one day it happens, and you're going, how did that happen?
Well, it's not all
Those
of a
are
sudden.
the people that freak you out them, but it's sudden to everybody else around him. Everybody else around him has no idea this
and
is
what
going on.
what I've seen, and it is so widespread. It is so widespread. You just don't know how widespread it really is, how much it's going on under MK Ultra mind control, but also that there are a lot of not only white people but African Americans involved, and it's amazing.
Well, that last guy was an African American.
That's both last guys we were talking about, and even the next person is too. You ever heard of Miriam Carey? You may not remember the name, but you remember this story. She took her car and
drove down the sidewalk.
Drove it down at the White House.
Yeah.
And anyway, she said that she was going to run over President. This was when President Obama was president. She ran over President Obama. But when they went and did some investigation, they found out that she had been writing for so long in her diary and her notes and all this that she had needed mental help. That she's asked for so much help that she was hearing not only a voice, but that she was hearing President Obama's voice telling her what to do.
My God.
Yes. Now, of course, it wasn't him, but it was someone that was using this energy weapon in her head. Listen, this lady, when you see her, she is not a nutball.
Right.
She is the most down-to-earth young person. Anyway, she has a little baby with her. Like, I think she's 14 months old, her little baby. So the police try to stop her. She goes around the police, stomps it, and takes off. And, of course, the police shoot her dead because she crosses the barrier there.
Yeah, which you cannot do.
Right, no. You cannot cross where the guards are at the White House. That's government property. And so, anyway, they shoot her and kill her right there beside her own baby.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yep.
I mean, stuff like that is brutal. And, you touched on something, though, that I want to talk about. We got to take our last break for the evening, and when we come back on to talk about this a little bit more. And, we were, when you were talking about that guy, the lawyer who was targeted, how was he targeted and things like that. I've got an idea about that and things I want to talk to you guys about. We'll talk about that and more. You're listening to Reaping the Night Tales of Supernatural right here on UndefinedRadio.com.
Share us on Facebook so your friends can find us. UndefinedRadio.com. Electricity has become a necessity, but it also remains a luxury, and we often forget that until we must manage without it for short periods of time. When storms roll in, our employees roll out to clear debris and restore power as quickly as possible. A lineman is often described as being a hero, defined by a person of distinguished courage or ability that is admired for his brave deeds and noble qualities. Got power? Thank a lineman. But let's not forget the right-of-way crews that help keep the lines cleared year-round and supervisors who remain on duty around the clock. We would like to thank all of our hardworking employees for their dedication for serving our members and their prompt response times. Any storm, anytime, anywhere, Tallahatchie Valley Electric Power Association. To report an outage at any time, you can call 662-563-4742 or visit the website at tvepa.com. Click on the Storm Center to view the report outages. Protect, restore, serve. Tallahatchie Valley Electric Power Association.
For over 100 years, GM has built the world's finest automobiles. And for 60 of those years, Hefner's has been delivering them to you. Hefner Motors team is trained with one goal, your complete satisfaction. Find new roads and drive the USA in a Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC. Hefner Motors, Highway 6 West, Batesville, USA. Or click HefnerChevy.com, a family company. There's a reason people shop here.
The Local Yokel Show, live Saturday morning. And on demand at UndefinedRadio.com. Undefined Radio, for everyone. No, really, everyone. It's time to insure, and we make it easy. Caldwell Insurance on the Square in Batesville. We have the easiest phone number to remember, 563-4567. We have the easiest website, it's timetoinsure.com. And the free app is available. Just search Caldwell Insurance in the App Store. You can use the free app and the website to get a quote, file a claim, and manage your policies. Easy, easy, easy. And we're easy to find. Under the clock sign on the corner on the Batesville Downtown Square. Come see Chris Smith, Jennifer Miner, Kim Rogers, and Perrin Caldwell. We work hard to make insurance easier for you at Caldwell Insurance.
Medicap Pharmacy on Highway 51 near the 6 and 51 intersection in Batesville. The pharmacy in Batesville that knows you when you walk in. Owned and operated by Todd Johnson, who lives here and grew up here. You'll see Medicap on our sign and on kids' jerseys at the ball field. We're involved in this community because we care about Batesville and Panola County. A fully equipped pharmacy with quick service and a drive-through window for your convenience. On Highway 51 in the Piggly Wiggly parking lot. Just look for our sign. Medicap Pharmacy. Here for you because we're your neighbor.
Cafe Olay on Highway 6 in Batesville. An atmosphere that makes it easy to relax, eat, and enjoy yourself. Come in anytime for the best in authentic Mexican food or a steak, grilled shrimp, a burger, or club sandwich. Stop in on Sunday for the lunch buffet, including delicious hot wings and a cheese dip. Cafe Olay, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. The bar is fully stocked and ready. Cafe Olay, Highway 6 in Batesville. Just a happy place to be.
Oh, and another happy place to be is right here in the Undefined Radio studios with your host, Big Daddy Storm. We got Jason Helms, K. Cruz over here and there, and Isaac sitting over there all quiet, like just listening to the craziness going on.
Martin.
That's right. Isaac's mic is live. He just ain't talking. He won't talk with us tonight for some reason.
He don't talk at all.
Come on, Isaac.
Isaac's like, I don't want to be put in a crazy category, my pops. So when the black SUVs pull up at my house, I'm not included in that whole mess right there.
I actually wanted to tell people where we were. We were called about 2 months ago by those black SUVs, and we've just now got out.
There you go.
That's where we've been. Sorry.
I've been here. Y'all got caught by the black SUVs. This is
Hey, Isaac, if you're going down through an old town, say like Senatobia in the old town, and you see a 2-story house, right?
That's right.
Is it haunted? It's old.
It's
if
haunted.
it's 2-story, is it
It's
haunted?
Haunted.
He will not say.
Yeah,
Well,
honestly,
me and his father,
he knows.
We know. We've been in the Hilton.
Yes.
In the Hanoi Hilton.
Yes, the Hanoi
I am publishing a book right now
Oh.
from a new author that just came on board with us.
Wow.
Called The Old Yellow House.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's
is
haunted.
here in our area.
Ooh.
And if you read the book, and I graduated with her daughter.
Ah.
And wow.
The house is haunted?
The stuff that went on in that house.
Dang.
Good grief. And that's
Holy
here
crap.
local.
Local?
Here local. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh.
That book comes out in a couple weeks as a
What's
matter
the name of the
fact.
book?
It's called The Old Yellow House.
The Old Yellow House.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we'll try to get
Old
Joyce
Yellow.
in here for us, Ripping the Night episode.
Oh, yeah.
She'll be
Yeah.
here
Need
and
that.
come in studio and talk live with us about the book and about some of the stories and stuff. So it was pretty cool. But we were talking before the break, and we were talking about the lawyer, and what happened was how they targeted him. And look, here's the thing: anything that you put
Myron
out there
May.
now,
In case you guys wanna look it
isn't
up.
it amazing when you're talking about something, all of a sudden it pops up on Facebook?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I know.
All right, even if you're just talking about it on your phone,
Right.
That's right.
it pops up on your Facebook
Yep.
timeline and
Yep.
anything like that.
I know.
Or you're talking about something, and then just miraculously, minutes later, that very thing you were talking about that has no business
Yeah.
popping up
This guy
anywhere
was
in your
talking about
social
his-
media feed is there.
He couldn't
Oh,
get
I
his
know.
car. He couldn't get his car cranked. Or something. Then in a few minutes, he got battery ads from like AutoZone. You know.
Isn't that something?
That's right. And think about your search bar when you're just searching for
Oh,
something.
man.
Yep.
All right.
Google is the
Any-
worst, man.
anything that
and
you
I love
search is
it.
out there. Well, everybody does,
Dude,
because you instant information at your fingertips.
It's the bulldog of search engines.
Oh, yeah.
Google is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
At work, we got Bing. Like,
Yeah.
this is crap. Bing.
Yeah.
This
But
mess
they
over here.
track everything you do. Everything you do.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, we go to Kroger. Use your Kroger card. Guess what you get in the mail?
That's right.
You get coupons. Oh my gosh. 90% of these coupons are everything I bought.
Exactly.
But the 10% is something that they think maybe you
Mhm.
might
Well,
want.
did you
Because they know that this is your tendency.
That's right.
Did you
Google
know in
Analytics. We use
in
Google-
Russia, they have facial recognition. When you come in the store, they know it's you, and as you're walking, they have little screens on the products, and it gives coupons for the products they know you're going to buy.
Oh my god.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, but here's the thing. We'll have that. Look, we're going to have that here too. And like Google Analytics, when we do our advertising, our targeted advertising promotions, all I got to do is bring up my Google Analytics tool, and it will tell me every single little thing I need to know to target the people that I need to target.
Yeah. Isn't that
So
crazy?
you don't think they're going to target people to make them TIs?
Well, that's what I'm
targeted
saying.
individuals?
Exactly.
Finding individuals, like if you're out searching
Mm-hmm.
for MK Ultra Mind Control, well, who's the perfect subject to do this
Oh,
on? Because
yeah.
this poor sap right here,
Yep.
who's out studying all this stuff, convinced himself that he's one of those people too,
Yeah.
and then he goes out and do that shooting. It puts all the burden, all the blame
Yeah,
on
that's right.
you, and
Right.
not where it actually goes
And then they say, oh, well, we need to do this, and see what's the very next thing they have? Oh, gun control.
Yeah.
Oh, bump stops. Now
Right.
now they're gone.
Now you
Yeah.
can't have it anymore.
Can't
Yeah.
have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that
we're gonna
bump
take away
stop
the guns.
magically jumped up there.
You want to
and
get
killed
people
all them
fired up?
folks.
Wear an NRA hat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that gets them good.
Oh, I know, it's great, man.
I
I enjoy
love
it so much.
I love it.
Or Antifa.
Oh, yeah.
The Antifa,
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the Antifa folks.
Yeah.
So, I love the anti-fascists are actually the fascists.
Yeah.
That is the
that was always it's always been that.
hypocrisy of that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, these idiots right here out doing that
Yep.
stuff. I mean,
Fascistas. You know, when Adolf Hitler, he said that he hated fascism, but yet he was the biggest fascist that
that's
there
what
was.
I'm saying. Like,
there was no
dude,
bigger.
You are a fascist. What are you talking about?
Right.
But that's what we what we have in this country. It was funny because today where I was reading an article, and I've gotten now to where I tried to avoid the news in general.
Right.
As
me
much
too,
as
man.
possible.
It's horrible.
Because there's nothing that you can sit there and go, okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
You
go
don't know.
You question everything now.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's true or not.
Right.
So now it becomes just a headache to even believe. But I heard like this girl posted this thing today about 20% of people who support Trump are racist.
Oh, yeah.
20%. I'm like, how ignorant do you have to believe, first of all, to believe that stat?
Right.
This stat was from a poll of like, was it 1,500 people?
Oh, yeah.
And most of those people were probably alt-right people they targeted and said,
Exactly.
these
They
are the guys who
targeted
want to do that.
They went down to South
Who-
Georgia.
yeah, who believed
and
that-
in South Mississippi or somewhere.
That's right.
And they,
So
they saw the guy with the rebel flag on the back of his truck,
Said,
and they
"This-
asked
this-
him, "Man,
that's that
you
dude."
like Trump? Yeah, I love him. You
So
hate
now-
black people and Hispanics? Yeah, I hate them."
That's and that's what it was.
Mark him down. Mark him down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
this was 2 years ago, but she
Yeah.
posted it like it was brand new.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. This was 2 years ago. And the thing is, when you read things like that, and another girl responded, "Yeah, because I'm like," and I asked the question. I'm like, "What racist thing has he done?" I said,
Right.
"All you have to do is tell me an actual racist thing that he does. That he's
Right.
come out and said this certain segment of the population is no good. We need to
Right.
do this." There's not one. There's not one quote on record anywhere that you can find it. But it's like everything else. When a narrative comes out and it fits whatever that you want it to be, you start buying into that stuff.
Right.
And all of a sudden it gets so deep rooted in your mind that you start, it's no longer fantasy, it becomes fact.
Oh, it's fact.
And
yeah.
the MK Ultra mind control is the same concept.
The MK Ultra mind control has been around for so long, but those that are in Hollywood, those that are in leadership, you have no idea how they are being used by
yeah.
these that you have what you call the cash cow.
Sure.
That's like Britney Spears, Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed how they suddenly go crazy and
Yeah.
shave their head?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Have you seen where suddenly by the age of 31 or 32 they commit suicide or overdose by
Unbelievable.
drugs?
Like, what's her
Every
name? What's the
single
girl's name?
time.
The fashion girl.
Well, you look at these people too, though. I mean, when your career starts tanking, you want to
yes.
stay relevant again.
Right,
So
but-
what do you
but
do?
it's more to it than
you
that.
do what's necessary for you to stay relevant.
They become a cash cow to where they produce millions and millions and millions of dollars, but yet they are subjected to the worst type of MK Ultra. The very top worst kind is called Monarch, the Monarch mind control, and that's where they make women into sex slaves or into cash cow. And what the way they do it is they'll take a young, for example, a young child, a young girl that's had a really bad, troublesome, terrible childhood, or that's been really mistreated, and that's susceptible to having multiple personalities. And what they'll do is they'll take that child, and the one person will nurture that child, and kind of take care of that child and do things for him, and then the child will be taken away, kidnapped, whatever, tortured beyond belief, drugged, tortured, and then that person that took care of them so long will come back for them. And they're so excited to see that, wow, that person's coming to get me and to save me. They find out that person now treats them evil, and the whole time they were involved with the treatment, and the child just can't take that.
Right.
And they literally split. They literally create an alternate existence, an alternate personality in order to cope. The mind has to have a way to cope with it.
Yeah.
And they use this to shut the mind off, to make them that entity that they need, like Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard where she said, "Ooh, there's a boy that lives inside of me."
Oh,
and
yeah.
I forgot what his name was, but and he comes out, and she says, I want to make him leave, but now he's there, and he can't go.
There
And
you
she's
go.
not lying there.
Yeah.
She is literally under MK Ultra mind control. Beyonce, Hannah Montana, one of the biggest, Lady Gaga.
Oh, yeah.
There's videos where she can't even walk. And it's not drugs. She's under MK Ultra.
But you look at things like Scientology.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, that's out there.
What's her name is wearing them
I
out,
mean,
bud.
Leah Remy.
Oh, she's wearing them out,
She
dude.
is tearing them up. But,
And she's got on the other ones now, dude.
oh, yeah.
She's on everything now.
But, here's the thing about Scientology I never got. You got this science fiction writer who came out with this book.
Yeah.
And this is what you're basing your whole religion around, something like that he said. And I'm like, and look, and some of their things I don't disagree. Some of their philosophy I don't disagree with when we're talking about, we ought to stay out as natural as we can and not pollute our bodies with stuff. I get
Right.
that. And,
Right,
and I don't think you should.
Right.
However, the way they go about doing things and some of their wilder philosophies are so out there,
Yeah.
and they border on cultishness
No,
and
they
mind
are.
control.
Yeah.
It is insane when you look into
it's like
it.
my buddy says. It's 99% good stuff and 1% rat poison.
Yeah.
And it's the rat poison that gets you.
It's going to get you.
Every time.
You know, me and Amy were talking about this just the other night. I was like, how can people, how do you get to that point where you're so, I guess your mind is so weak where you can believe that, hey, Jason told me he was the prophet.
I think he might be.
And I think he might, the way he talks.
Yeah.
Now, there are people,
and I'm going to follow him.
There are people who have a demonic spirit on them, and MK Ultra uses demonology. That is one of the biggest things they use is demonology, demons to control people. And and a really good movie to watch that shows this in depth. Now it does have some nudity in it and some foul language.
What is this?
It's Eyes Wide Shut. Have you ever seen
Eyes Wide Shut?
Yeah,
I watched
I've never
it.
seen
Yeah,
it.
I saw it several times. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman.
Yes. Have you ever paid attention to what the story it's trying to say?
No, because I couldn't
Were
get
they
past Nicole Kidman naked.
Yeah.
Where they talk about
It was like an hour and 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
No,
I'm like, there's a movie.
there's a movie. Oh,
well, they use as he goes to this supposed party. Of course, this is the Rothschilds.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's supposed to be their house, right?
Yep.
He goes to this party, and then all of a sudden these lovely women come out, and they tell him, "Don't you want to go over the rainbow?" Over the rainbow is
like in a ship?
No, that's a key word. That's a key word that they use. It's a trigger word.
And trigger word.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
To split their personality, to
Yeah.
shut off an area of their mind where they're able to have self control.
Right.
I'll tell you, it gets wild and a little bit crazy
Down the rabbit
too.
hole.
Yeah, down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't go down that
These are
rabbit
trigger
hole.
words.
Dude, I'm telling you, you gotta be careful of that.
It's the truth. It's real.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's so many things like that can trigger.
Mind
a
control
person.
has been something that has been around and in use since the 50s.
Oh,
70
yeah.
years.
Oh yeah.
And probably longer than that. I mean, I think the day people realize that they could control somebody's mind through torture and through various techniques like that, there's
Oh,
no
yes.
telling how many centuries
Oh, yeah.
mind controls exist on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Then depending on who you listen to, religion is a form of mind control. And that's the sad thing is people can use anything for nefarious purposes and things like that and all that junk. So it could do all that stuff. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, again, and that's the point between being a Christian and being a follower of Christ.
Yeah.
Many people say, "Yeah, I'm a Christian." That means they're not a Muslim or they're not
Right.
a Buddhist or whatever. But are you a follower of Christ?
Right.
And so, like you said, the Church of Scientology, the church. Oh, that must be having something to do with Christ. It has nothing to do with Christ.
No, not at all.
It is the biggest farce that there ever was.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time.
Man, the hour's gone already.
The hour is gone already.
Man, it is gone by. Jason,
We are.
that was a good. That
It was a good
stuff.
topic.
He
I
told me it
appreciate
was
it.
going to be good.
It is.
He did.
Yeah, I was looking at that and said, "Oh man, this is amazing, man.
So
It's amazing."
it's only no telling what we're going to come up with for next week, though.
Oh, it's going to be
So I'm excited. Great to have you guys back in the studio.
Good to be
glad
back.
to be back.
So a lot of fun tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in and being a part of the show tonight. We really do appreciate it. Love that audience interaction. Love the fans interaction. Join us each and every Friday night right here at 8 o'clock on Reaping the Night Tales of Supernatural right here on UndefinedRadio.com. For Kevin and Jason, this is Big Daddy Storm. We are out.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
People in Alert Bay say they've been